Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another lesson here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. And today, Marco, you and I are talking about movies, right?
We're talking a little bit about movies, but mostly we're having a big argument.
Okay, I kind of like arguments. Lots of great words and phrases for you to learn here in English. But we've got an upper intermediate level lesson with some people who are not getting along very well. So
it's a couple, a guy and a girl, and they're having a fight, as couples do. So we're going to be learning a lot of the different language that they are using in this very heated debate. So let's listen to this dialogue for the first time, and then we'll be right back.
Wow, that terrible movie is finally over. Next time I'm picking the film because I don't want to end up seeing a chick flick.
Well, you should have picked. In the end, you always complain about everything.
Not everything, just this film. Even the title is ridiculous, and it's so long. Those were the 2.5 most wasted hours of my life. So much so that I'm thinking about asking them to give me my money back.
I'm thinking of taking you back home. I thought we could have a nice evening, but you're always so negative.
I'm only complaining about a movie that I could have rented or bought and then thrown in the garbage.
You see? That's what I'm talking about. I can't stand your sarcastic jokes anymore.
Next time, go with your gay friend who's more in touch with his feelings.
Well, he's more of a man than you are. At least he appreciates love stories.
Love stories? More like one-night stands.
Don't criticize Mario, or else I'll start on those fat drunk friends of yours. They're no saints.
My friends? Fat? What about those whales you call friends?
You're unbearable. You can walk home. I'm leaving.
Fine.
I think the guy was exaggerating a little bit. What do you think?
I think they were both exaggerating. You know, by the end of an argument, both people are saying things that maybe they don't mean.
I think we'll talk a little bit more about this towards the end of the show, but now why don't we take a look at language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
All right, on language takeaway today we have 4 words, and the first one that you probably saw in the very first sentence is chick flick.
Chick flick. So first of all, the word chick means a woman. It's slang, and it's not very nice.
It's not very nice.
No.
Well, I mean, between guys, you would use it as like, oh, this chick or that chick, but you wouldn't really walk up to a girl and call her a chick, right?
No, you wouldn't say, hey, chick, what's up? That's not something you want to say. So chick is a slang word for a girl or a woman, and a chick flick is a girl's movie.
So a flick is a movie,
Yeah.
Another slang word.
Exactly. So this is the slang phrase for flick. So, hey, Marco, what flicks are showing at the movie theater?
All right.
Yeah.
So movies. So, and a chick flick is usually a romantic movie, a drama, something that's very...
Like Beaches. Beaches is a chick flick. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I've never seen it.
Also, He's Just Not That Into You is one of those new chick flicks.
Or like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Or The Devil Wears Prada.
Bride Wars.
Bride Wars. Wow, lots of chick flicks.
I've actually never seen any one of these except How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I've actually only seen that one.
All right, so chick flick is a girl's or women's movie. And next up we have a word, sarcastic. We're talking about sarcastic jokes.
So sarcastic jokes or somebody being sarcastic.
God, Marco, you're always so sarcastic.
So what would sarcasm sound like?
Yeah, he's really funny.
All right, so it's not really what you're saying, it's kind of how you're saying it.
Right, so it's kind of like by saying, he's really funny. You're saying, yeah, he's a funny guy. But if I say, ugh, he's really funny, I'm saying, he's not funny, he's being mean, or
yeah, he's a jerk.
He's a jerk.
Sarcasm is kind of one of those things that it's a little bit difficult to learn how to do or to actually get it right. Especially in English, right?
Yeah, Marco, great explanation.
Exactly, that's the way it goes.
Oh yeah, you're so funny.
So,
Wow.
You're amazing. You should go to, you went to sarcasm school.
So my parents
You can be
like to
really
say.
mean, Catherine.
Sorry, just kidding.
All right, so apart from being sarcastic, you can criticize someone.
Like you're ever critical.
All right.
Sorry, I'll
Wow.
stop.
You're
All right.
really into character right now.
All right, so critical. To criticize someone is to complain about them or to say that the things that they do are not very good.
So you can criticize a person or a movie.
Yeah, so this movie wasn't very good. It wasn't funny. The actors were bad. It was really long. These are criticisms.
Criticisms. All right. Well, and then moving on, the girl was finally tired of the guy and his complaints, and she said he's unbearable.
Gosh, you're unbearable. So the root of this word is to be able to to stand something, to bear it. And so if you're unbearable, something is unbearable, you just can't stand it.
All right. So you're tired of it. You can't stand it.
She thinks he's so unbearable, she makes him get out of the car.
And she leaves.
Yeah, she said, you can walk home.
All right. So that's an unbearable person, right? Okay. So we took a look at those 4 main words here in our dialogue. Let's move on now to some of the phrases that we found in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
This first one's a common one, especially when we talk about women and men and the relationship between women and men. We say about men that maybe they should be more in touch with their feelings or their feminine side. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're saying to be more in touch with your feminine side, what exactly are you saying?
It's a good question. Well, what you're saying is that you want to be able to express your feelings more, or you want to be able to understand more about your feminine side or something like this. So to be in touch with is more about yourself. It's about self-reflection and self-understanding. So you could say, I'm a very serious person, but I want to make some changes in my life. So I'm trying to be more in touch with my inner child.
Your inner child. All right. So to be in touch with, and it's usually related to feelings, to something intangible,
Or
right?
to behavior. Yeah.
To behavior. All right. Moving on now, a heated phrase, a one-night stand.
Oh, I'll let you explain this one, Marco.
All right. So a one-night stand is a casual and very quick temporal encounter that's usually a sexual encounter.
It's romantic, right? So
Romantic.
it can be between 2 different people. They meet each other one night. They have a relationship for one night only, and then they never see each other again. So it's casual.
It's casual, very good. So yeah, you would see this. You see this a lot in shows like Sex in the City and all
Yeah,
that
they have
stuff.
a lot of one night stands in that show.
All right, so a one-night stand. And, well, related to this, the girl was criticizing his friends, and she said they're no saints.
Okay, so you could say this in many different ways. He's no saint. She's no saint. Or I'm no saint.
You're no saint.
So a saint is a good person. It's a word that we use in religion to say someone who's like Mother Teresa or someone who's just really good and kind and
Doesn't commit any sins.
Exactly. And so to say I'm no saint is to say, well, I do bad things or I say bad things. I'm not perfect. Okay. So he or they're no saints. They do bad stuff too.
Yeah, very good. So that's the way that you would use, he's no saint, they're no saints. All right, so I think now we should listen to our dialogue for the last time, and we'll be right back.
Wow, that terrible movie is finally over. Next time I'm picking the film because I don't want to end up seeing a chick flick.
Well, you should have picked. In the end, you always complain about everything.
Not everything, just this film. Even the title was ridiculous, and it's so long. Those were the 2.5 most wasted hours of my life. So much so that I'm thinking about asking them to give me my money back.
I'm thinking of taking you back home. I thought we could have a nice evening, but you're always so negative.
I'm only complaining about a movie that I could have rented or bought and then thrown in the garbage.
You see? That's what I'm talking about. I can't stand your sarcastic jokes anymore.
Next time, go with your gay friend who's more in touch with his feelings.
Well, he's more of a man than you are. At least he appreciates love stories.
Love stories? More like one-night stands.
Don't criticize Mario, or else I'll start on those fat drunk friends of yours. They're no saints.
My friends? Fat? What about those whales you call friends?
You're unbearable. You can walk home. I'm leaving.
Fine.
All right, so Catherine, is this an argument that you would say is typical among couples? Or maybe people that are probably about to break up, right?
Yeah, not couples that are happy, I would say. But yeah, you definitely have people who are, well, I guess it's kind of the battle of the sexes, right? You have people who are different genders, and so they don't always understand each other. You know, you want to have your girlfriends as a girl, and your girlfriends behave and talk in a certain way together, and guys do the same thing, but with their friends. And so sometimes you have these clashes, these interactions that are negative. And, you know, when people are upset with each other, they say mean things.
And especially, I think in this case, they don't really like each other's friends.
Exactly.
And that's a kind of a common thing. Like a guy doesn't like his girlfriend's friends because maybe they gossip too much or something like that. And the same thing with the girls, right? Because a guy's friends maybe drink too much,
play too many card games.
they're single.
So I think a lot of times these problems also have to do with the fact that, like, when a girl is with her girlfriends, she maybe acts differently, or when a guy's with his guy friends, and so that's weird sometimes for the relationship because you see your partner acting differently with other people.
Right.
So. Do you like your boyfriend or girlfriend's friends? Do you get in fights about this kind of stuff?
Or you know what? The in-laws.
Ooh, that's a whole nother situation.
That's a whole other situation.
Absolutely.
All right, so we want to hear from you. And also, if you have any questions or comment suggestions, come to EnglishPod.com and you can leave it on our lessons page, or you can email us at EnglishPod@praxislanguage.com.
We hope to see you on the website in the near future. Please get in touch with us. That's all for today. So bye-bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A film that appeals to women. Chick flick. The use of words to show irritation. Sarcastic. To be in close contact with. In touch with. A random and temporary romantic encounter. One night stand. To express disapproval. Criticize. Too bad to be accepted or endured. Unbearable. Let's try that faster. To be in close contact with. In touch with. To express disapproval. Criticize. A film that appeals to women. Chick flick. The use of words to show irritation. Sarcastic. A random and temporary romantic encounter. One night stand. Too bad to be accepted or endured. Unbearable. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Chick flick.
My girlfriend dragged me to go see another chick flick.
Chick flick.
This channel only shows chick flicks.
Chick flick.
The chick flick genre enjoyed great success a few years ago. I can't stand the weather here. It's too hot. She told me she can't stand me, and then she left. Now I'm all alone. Turn that music down. I can't stand country western. Sarcastic. Don't be so sarcastic because it's really obnoxious. Sarcastic. Thank you for the wonderful service, the customer said sarcastically. Sarcastic. Many performers use sarcasm for comedic effect. In touch with. Let's see this chick flick and get in touch with our feminine side. In touch with. He is just more in touch with his feelings, but he's not gay. In touch with. Please remember to write and stay in touch. Unbearable. I couldn't stand the flight attendant's unbearable politeness. Unbearable. The summers here are unbearable because of the heat. Unbearable. This music is unbearable. Turn it down.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. So, Marco, today we're talking about rent and housing.
Right, we're actually going to be moving. We're going to be going to a new apartment or a new house. And so we're going to look at all the words related to this because sometimes it can be a real hassle, right? It can be really difficult.
Absolutely. Well, you love moving, right? You were telling me how much you love moving your stuff and negotiating a new lease.
Well, I like the negotiation of the lease, but not the moving aspect.
I don't think anyone likes moving.
Actually, I do like it at times because then you can just throw away so many things that you have no need for and you wouldn't throw away unless you moved.
So let's go check out today's dialogue to find out what happens to the characters.
Okay, that's fine. Bye.
What happened?
That's it. My lease is up. I have to move.
What? Why? Can't you renew it?
The owner apparently is selling this place to make way for the construction of a parking lot.
Well, I can help you pack. We should start looking for a new place for you ASAP.
I think I might move in with my parents for a couple of months until I can find something. You know how hard it is to find a decent place around here. I'm gonna have to put most of my stuff in storage for a while.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help out.
Actually, would you mind looking after my pet tarantula and snake for a couple of weeks?
Sure.
All right, we're back. So, well, it's not much of a big deal. I guess if you have your parents nearby, you can just move back in with your parents.
Easier said than done.
True. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's take a look at the words that are used today in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so this first one is an important one because generally when you're looking for a house or an apartment, there are two things you can do. You can buy a house or you can lease a house or apartment. So lease here, Marco.
It's basically to rent, right? It's a contract where you agree to pay a monthly or a quarterly fee for using that house or apartment.
So do you own your apartment or do you lease it?
No, mine, I lease.
Yeah,
I am
I do
not
too.
a homeowner yet.
Right. So owning a home is a lot more expensive at one kind of period where you have to just pay in and you have
Right.
maybe a mortgage. But leasing is just a monthly fee, like you said.
So in this case, they had to leave because their lease was expired.
Exactly. So you can, at the end of a lease, do one of two things. You can stop and you can find a new apartment or you can renew your lease.
All right, and that's our next word. To renew your lease basically means to
continue.
continue.
And this is actually a good word because it can be used with any contract because really a lease is a kind of contract. And so I can say, I renewed my job contract.
Or maybe a magazine subscription.
Yeah,
You
so-
renewed your magazine subscription.
It's a way of saying that you've committed to paying for the next 6 months or 1 year.
Okay. Well, and after that, as we said, the person decided to move in with the parents. So move in.
Move in, well, we can say he moved his car. He put it in a different place. But to move in is actually to change houses or to change apartments. And you're literally moving your things in, you're moving your clothes in, you're moving into a new home. So you're living in a new place.
So in this case, this person is going to live with the parents. Move in. All right. And our next word is when you have to move, you have to pack.
Okay, so you can pack a lot of things. In this case, you're packing a box with all of your belongings, your books and your pillows and all that. But you can also pack a suitcase or you can pack luggage. So packing is putting things into something so that you can move them.
So you can carry them or take them somewhere.
Exactly.
So in this case, you have to pack your things, put them in boxes to take them to your new home. And our last word is an acronym when you said ASAP.
All right, snap. Come on, ASAP, Marco.
ASAP.
Describe this for us quickly.
All right. So ASAP is an acronym for as soon as possible.
Okay, so you often see this in the office on envelopes or emails.
Right.
So please respond ASAP, ASAP. This means please respond right away.
As soon as you can, as soon as possible. All right, so 5 great words that we've just taken a look at. Let's listen to our dialogue again, and we'll be right back.
Okay, that's fine. Bye.
What happened?
That's it. My lease is up. I have to move.
What? Why? Can't you renew it?
The owner apparently is selling this place to make way for the construction of a parking lot.
Well, I can help you pack. We should start looking for a new place for you ASAP.
I think I might move in with my parents for a couple of months until I can find something. You know how hard it is to find a decent place around here. I'm going to have to put most of my stuff in storage for a while.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help out.
Actually, would you mind looking after my pet tarantula and snake for a couple of weeks?
Sure.
All right, we're back, and we have a couple of different phrases for you, so let's look at those now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Our first one's a little bit unusual. We heard the phrase, my lease is up. So, Marco, let's talk about this phrase, to be up.
All right, so if something is up, as in this case, the lease, it means it's expired, it's finished, right?
So it's over.
It's over.
You can also say, our time is up.
Right.
If we have a meeting. So that's all the time I have. Time to go away.
Time is up. Very good. So it's always related to time or maybe a contract, as in this case, or your lease is up.
So it means over or finished.
All right, so moving on to our second phrase.
To make way for. All right, so this is a great one. This often makes me think of kings and queens in the old days. They say, make way for the king. So you have to
Get out of the way.
Yeah, get out of the way or to clear some space for them to move because there's too much stuff in the way. And so in this case, the owner of the apartment where the guy was living in is trying to make some space or make way for a parking lot.
Right, so he's basically going to sell the building or house and build a parking lot instead. So they are making way for the new parking lot.
They're clearing space. And this is actually really sad because my childhood home, they destroyed to make way for a larger, ugly, big
Building?
house. Yeah.
Really? See, it happens all the time. Now they're making way for malls and big buildings, and all of our little houses are destroyed. And, well, moving on to our last phrase, the person asked the friend if he would mind looking after the pet snake and tarantula.
I would mind.
You don't like snakes or tarantulas?
Well, I don't mind them as long as I don't live with them.
So would you mind? This is a nice way to start a sentence if you want to ask for a favor, right?
Exactly. So here's an alternative. Hey, Marco, can you do this for me?
I could, maybe.
I could say, Marco, would you mind doing this for me?
It's more polite.
It is more polite and it's a little bit gentler. Yeah.
So it's
And so-
nice. It's a nice way of asking someone for a favor.
Exactly. And that's why this is funny because the favor is not like, would you mind watching my kitty? The favor is, would you mind watching my poisonous pets?
Right. All right. So would you mind it? But in the end, the person agreed. So it works, right?
It does work. So would you mind, so listeners, would you mind listening to today's dialogue one more time at its normal speed before we come back to you and talk more about renting an apartment?
Okay, that's fine. Bye.
What happened?
That's it. My lease is up. I have to move.
What? Why? Can't you renew it?
The owner apparently is selling this place to make way for the construction of a parking lot.
Well, I can help you pack. We should start looking for a new place for you ASAP.
I think I might move in with my parents for a couple of months until I can find something. You know how hard it is to find a decent place around here. I'm going to have to put most of my stuff in storage for a while.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help out.
Actually, would you mind looking after my pet tarantula and snake for a couple of weeks?
Sure.
All right, so moving in now, you have different stages in your life, right? When you move out, for example, you move out of your parents' home and you live on your own. And then maybe, like in this case, you would move back in with your parents. How do you see that happening?
I see it very often. My brother just moved back in with my parents.
Really?
Yeah, I think that it depends on the person, honestly. I mean, especially because the economy has really been suffering for the last year. A lot of people are doing this because, you know, in a lot of cities in America, you can spend $1,000 to $2,000 a month for an apartment to rent.
Right.
And that's a small apartment or a shared apartment. And so I understand this is it's a better option now than it was before because everyone wants independence.
Right.
But sometimes you just can't afford it.
Exactly. And it's a cultural thing because some people move out of their parents' home maybe for college. It's very common in the U.S. to study in another city or another state, right? And but then maybe coming back home and moving in with your parents. Or in other cultures, maybe they don't move out at all. Maybe they only move out once they're married.
Exactly. So a lot of people in China, I think in Shanghai specifically, don't move out of their parents' home until they're going to get married.
Right. Well, it does make sense in many big metropolis because, as you say, rent is expensive. Living on your own is expensive. And, well, you don't have anyone to share those costs with, like gas, water, electricity, even food, right? It's cheaper among more people.
And not to mention a little bit scary living on your own for the first time.
It is a little bit scary. What about having somebody move in with you? Maybe a roommate or girlfriend or boyfriend?
Ooh, that's always the big step.
The big commitment.
The big commitment. You're in a relationship and you ask your partner to move in with you. It's the step before marriage, I guess.
Wow. There's nothing before that? Nothing before marriage?
No.
That's pretty much it.
You tell me. I don't know.
All right. That's all the time we have for today. But be sure to come to our website, englishpod.com. If you have any questions or any comments about this topic, we would be glad to have your input on it. And we'll see you guys there.
And if you have any suggestions for the step before marriage, please let us know because we're in the dark on this one. So until next time.
All right.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A contract granting use of property.
Lease.
To cause something to continue to be effective.
Renew.
Wrap up.
Pack.
To put articles in a case or container for moving.
Pack.
A building or an area.
Place.
A space for storing goods.
Storage.
Take care of.
Look after.
To create space for something else.
Make way for.
As soon as possible.
ASAP.
Good.
Decent.
Take care of.
Look after.
Let's try that faster. Wrap up.
Pack.
Good.
Decent.
As soon as possible.
ASAP.
A contract granting use of property.
Lease.
Take care of.
Look after.
To put articles in a case or container for moving.
Pack.
To create space for something else.
Make way for.
Take care of.
Look after.
To cause something to continue to be effective.
Renew.
A building or an area.
Place.
A space for storing goods.
Storage.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Lease. We are only leasing the apartment for 1 year. Lease. I didn't buy the car. It's a lease vehicle. Lease. According to your lease, you will have to pay a fine for destruction of property. Make way for. Make way for the king. Make way for. We'd better make way for that ambulance. Make way for. The company reduced its stock to make way for the new products. ASAP. I want you to clean up this mess ASAP. ASAP. Get back to me ASAP about the details of the deal. ASAP. If we don't finish this project ASAP, we could be fired. Decent. The city government was full of decent, hard-working people. Decent. The car is decent enough. It gets me from point A to point B. Decent. This is a matter of common decency. You should really apologize for your behavior. Look after. We're looking after my friend's dog this week. Look after. Can you look after my daughter while I'm away? Look after. I put Mary in charge of looking after the Jones account.